The largest position in my portfolio right now is cash. Today, I'm not going to talk about how I will spend this cash, but rather about how I got so much cash. It's because some of my arbitrage positions have been closed, mainly Control Resources, Parsley Energy, and Fitbit. These three companies recently got acquired. But the main reason is because I took some profits on GameStop last Friday. And it's not small profits, on average about 1000% profits. I did not sell everything, I still own GameStop today. But in today's video, we are going to talk about why I sold some of my shares of GameStop. Where do I see the stock and the company going next? We are going to talk about the valuations of the company today. We are going to look at the fundamentals today. Before we talk about all of that, please make sure to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ishfaq. I am a popular investor on eToro where I manage assets for over 500 people. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the coming videos. As you can see, I've reached $700,000 in assets under management on eToro. And my portfolio itself, it grew by 52.6% in the first 3 weeks of 2021. I don't think that this is something that's going to happen every month. Of course, this is special month, special beginning of the year. But hopefully in the future, I'm going to have such big gains. Now, about why I took profits. Because if it's doing so well, maybe I should just keep riding on this wave and see where it goes. Actually, the main reason is because of the 40% rule that I had. If you remember in my last video, I talked about Kurt Wolf, one of the directors of GameStop, who is also the CEO of Hersha Capital, a hedge fund. He sold about half of all his shares. It's because according to the regulations of his hedge fund, he cannot own a certain maximum amount in only one stock. So he took profit. Why did I take profit? It's because I have a 40% rule. This rule comes from Warren Buffett. When he used to have his partnership when he was in his late 20s, he wrote to his partners in one of the letters, I don't remember exactly which one of the letter, that he won't put more than 40% of their money in a single company. And I want to apply the same rule. Why it's 40%? I don't know. Because maybe 40% is a good amount. If you have 50%, then half of the portfolio is in a single stock. But 40%, I think this is the maximum we can go. Then we have 60% in other things. Even in the worst case scenario, you know that you have more in other companies, in other securities. I don't think it is wise to have so much money in a single stock where you don't have control. If you're an activist investor, you have control, then maybe you can put more money in a single stock. But if you are just here sitting and other people are working, they don't even know you, then 40%, this is the maximum I can go. So on Friday, as we know, GameStop gained at some point even 70%. It reached over 40% of my portfolio. I sold some shares. And then it kept going up. It reached 40% again. I sold even more shares. And there was a time when GameStop trading was halted. When it was resumed, it was still over 40%. And I sold much more shares. Now it's 25% of my portfolio. So why did I sell this extra 15%? Why did I not reduce it only to, let's say, 35%? Why 25%? It all comes to valuation. Let's talk a little about the fundamentals of GameStop. I have made a full valuation analysis of GameStop on my research partnership. It's available for free if you want to check it out. But in today's video, we are going to look at a small summary of that. The first chart we want to look at is the main catalysts that have been affecting the price of GameStop and that may affect the price of GameStop in the future. You will see that when I started investing in GameStop in September 2019, we had, for example, activism from Michael Burry. He told them to buy back shares. This was a catalyst. And it was also a cigar butt stock. We know that the next console cycle was coming. And then it changed in April when the stock price of GameStop reached its lowest level. The new catalyst was that it was not just a cigar butt, but a deep value stock. It was really cheap. Even if the company was liquidated, went bankrupt, liquidated, you would still make more money than its market value. There was also new activism. I did not write it here. Those hedge fund, Hersha Capital and Permit Capital, they were trying to get some board seats. It was not so important. And there was also the catalyst of a short squeeze because the management decided to buy back shares. They bought 35% of the company back, and we had this possibility of a short squeeze. So a new catalyst arose. But when we look at the company today, there is the catalyst of Ryan Cohen activism. There is the catalyst of a short squeeze. There is also the catalyst of this cycle. It will continue. But GameStop is not a value stock anymore. It is a growth stock. And there is much speculation, especially coming from Wall Street bets on Reddit and also Robinhood traders. They just want the stock to go to $100, $300, $500 a share for no reason. Why do they want to do that? It can happen. It can happen. It can go to $300, $500 a share. Because if they keep buying, the short sellers will have to cover. And this will keep triggering the short squeeze. The short squeeze will keep happening. So it can go to $500 a share. But why do they want to do that? It's not because they believe in the long-term success of GameStop. It's because they want to make a quick money, a quick profit. That's what they want. Most of those Wall Street bets on Reddit, those Robinhood traders, even on eToro, those traders, this is what they want here. They are not here for the long term. They are here for a short, quick profit, and they know it can happen, and I believe it will happen because of the covering of the shorts. But as a value investor, I have to ask myself, should I be holding this? This is a speculative game. Should I be holding a speculative game? And like what any value investor would do, I calculated the intrinsic value of GameStop. And this is the second chart we are going to look at today. We don't know the effects of Ryan Cohen on the business yet. I believe in him. I think he's very smart, smarter than me. He knows what he's doing. And I believe he can change GameStop. But for the time being, we don't have a plan yet. He's just one of the directors of GameStop. He's not even the chairman yet. Maybe in June he can become chairman. Then everything changes for GameStop. He becomes chairman. Maybe he will find a new CEO. Maybe he'll be CEO himself. Who knows? Then things will change in GameStop. The story of GameStop will change. And the valuation, the fundamentals also will change. But for the time being, we need to look at things that are real for today. We cannot base the valuations of a company based on rumors. It needs to be on concrete facts which are available today. And as for today, the main thing we can say about GameStop is that this is a business trying to change. We already mentioned that now they call themselves an e-commerce company, not just physical stores. So they are trying to change, but it's going to cost them a lot of money to change. So I calculated the intrinsic value of GameStop looking at the bear case. The bear case is that nothing happens. Ryan Cohen tries to change it, but he fails. Look at the bull case and also the base case. So in the bull case, the intrinsic value of GameStop is about $50 a share. And when I sold, it was about $70 a share. So maybe GameStop can be worth $70, $75 a share in 5 years, but not today. Today, it's not worth more than $50 a share, in my opinion. Not with the correct fundamentals. Today, the price is about $65 a share. At this price, this is 30 times free cash flow. If my analysis is correct and GameStop, my prediction is correct, and GameStop can have $300 million in free cash flow for this financial year, then the forward free cash flow of GameStop is going to be 15. 15 doesn't look so bad. But what happens after that? Because this year will be a special year for GameStop because of the new console cycle. But can they keep this high free cash flow of $300 million? Maybe next year it's going back to $200. If it goes back to $200, then the forward free cash flow for this year is quite good, but for next year it's not good. Then it's expensive. We also need to look at the exit multiples on GameStop in, let's say, 5 years. If you hold GameStop for 5 years, what may the price be? How will the market value GameStop? Right now, the market is valuing GameStop at 30 times free cash flow. I don't think this is going to keep for much longer. If let's say it happens, there is a 10% probability that it happens 30 times free cash flow. Maybe it can be even 50 times free cash flow, but I did not look at all of that. We need always to take a margin of safety. Then I look at the possibility that GameStop will be valued at only 5 times free cash flow. And I give this a 30% probability of happening. Because like I said, we don't know if Ryan Cohen will be successful. I believe he will be. But just because I believe in something doesn't mean that it will happen. I can be wrong. I've been wrong so many times. So you don't need to invest with emotions here. I love GameStop. I like this company. I want it to succeed. But this is just emotions. You need to look at the facts. The facts today is that GameStop, they have to change their business. It's going to cost them a lot of money. Ryan Cohen is smart. He can do it. But will he be able to do it? It's just probabilities. There is a 70% probability he can do it, 30% no. And in the best case scenario, the bull case, I see GameStop at $200 a share in 5 years. So if it is at $200 a share in 5 years, it is still a good investment today. But there is also the probability that GameStop stock will be lower than $65 a share. So if you buy today, then in 5 years you will lose money. It makes no sense then to buy. When it was at $40 a share, I said that it was still cheap. It's because then the expected returns was positive. Now the expected returns is negative according to my calculations. Why did I not take all profits? If I don't think it is worth $65 a share, maybe I should take profit. It's because again of market sentiments. If we are looking at the 5-year period, then in 5 years, maybe GameStop can be the bull case $200 a share. But in this year, 2021, GameStop can go to $300 a share because of this short squeeze. In my long-term analysis, I'm not really looking at the short squeeze because I said that the short squeeze will be just like with RH, a long-term short squeeze. It's going to take multiple years, but I was wrong about that. It's going to be more like Volkswagen Group. It happened in just a few weeks and especially on a single day. So if you look at what happened on that day, Volkswagen Group stock spiked up and then it crashed. So if you had waited, you wanted it to keep going up higher and higher, you would have lost money. So when it's going up, you have to take profits, some profits at least. Even if you believe in Volkswagen Group long term, it's better to take the maximum profits you can. When it crashes, if it crashes at the right price, you can buy back in. But you don't want 60-70% of your portfolio in a company and then the next day it crashes. You don't want that to happen. You take maximum profits when you can. This is the same thing that I'm doing with GameStop. If the short squeeze keep happening, and I believe it will, I'm going to keep taking profits. It reaches 40% of my portfolio again, I take profits again. But let's say it crashes at $30 a share and then Ryan Cohen comes and he tests us his plan. He has a very beautiful plan. Maybe I can buy back in. I want to hold GameStop for a long time. I believe in what Ryan Cohen is doing and I want to hold it, but we need his plan first. My average price on GameStop right now is about $3.50. So at this price, even if it goes to $7, I'm still doubling my money. So it's not a problem for me. I can hold even if it crashes to $20 a share, I will still hold some shares, but not all of them because you don't know what will happen in the short term. Those Wall Street bets, once they are done with GameStop, they're moving to the next company. Maybe they are going to be the one who will short it again. Someone shared this chart on my Discord chat and you can see that you need to invest when the market is undervaluing a stock. We take a margin of safety, but when it becomes overvalued, you need to take profits. I didn't take everything as profits, like I said, because I still believe that the short squeeze is not over. It will happen. It will keep happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Even if I'm wrong, I'm still making money on GameStop. But the maximum profits I can take, I'm going to take. And I will repeat this again. It's not that I don't believe in the company. It's just about the valuations. I believe in the success of this company long term, as long as Ryan Cohen has a good plan. It's the same thing I did with Apple. At some point, Apple was 22% of my portfolio. I still believe in Apple. I know that Apple would be a success, but it became overvalued and I took profits. And some people might say that I was wrong to take profits in Apple because it's still going up. I will say to these people that I took profits on Apple and bought GameStop. I'm making more money on GameStop. And the difference between GameStop and Apple is that GameStop has not proven itself yet. Apple did. So GameStop is a little riskier than Apple. When it was $200 million valuation, then it was not risky at all. It was a deep value stock. But at $5 billion valuation, it becomes risky. Yes, like this. It can fall like this if you are not careful. Of course, I will keep informing you what I'm going to do next with GameStop when I sell. I'm going to tell you how I will use all this cash now. I've already started buying some shares. I've bought some shares of Julian, Infi, DouYu, Genworth Financial, and even China Mobile. I've been buying more shares of these companies. I will keep buying. I'm looking at other stocks which I'm going to buy. GameStop is the best investment of my life so far. But I hope there will be better investments in the future. So now we need to move and look at other big investments. So let me know in the comments what do you think about GameStop. Are you taking profits? Thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share. Please watch these videos here if you missed them. Have a nice day and goodbye.